So, Eliana, if you're still there, shalom. Um, I was sitting here. I wasn't even going to go live. And I saw you, again in the comments. So once again, you did inspire me to go ahead and, go live because, so what I'm doing right now is this is going through my Bluetooth. So I hope it doesn't mess anything up. Um, Yeah, let me go ahead and set up my Bigo because I had decided that I was going to just wait until tomorrow. But, I am awake because I had just actually had made myself some cocoa. I was like, okay, I got some oat milk and some vegan cacao powder and some coconut palm sugar and some Saigon cinnamon. And so that's what I mixed up. Oh my God. And it foamed up so good in the microwave. Like it's like a little nice little dessert. So yeah, because I didn't have any hemp seeds. I only had black walnut seeds, and I don't like to make my chocolate milk with that. I only do the black walnuts with my when I do like a parasite cleanse or something like that. That's when I drink that. So I used oat milk, and it was it was perfect. But let me get my Bigo set up so I can just go ahead and do this on both platforms. What did I call this one at the beginning of wisdom? Okay. So this should be interesting because the reason I did it is because I was thinking about it earlier and how, a lot of people have been, I feel, misled as far as, religion and a lot of, things being misunderstood, misinterpreted, people misusing their power and the word to, control and instill fear into people, again, for the purpose of control. So I am going to have my boxes open on Bigo later, but I'm going to lock them for right now so that I can, focused, because like I said, I just hit the live button because I saw you in the in the comments. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and do it because I was going to procrastinate. And so it's not really procrastinate. I really do have an early morning. I have things to do in the morning, but I'm awake, so why not? And I don't know how long I'm going to be here. Like for Bigo, I would try to do a couple of hours, but I may not be here that long. But however, I am here, and it will add up because I really am trying to, at least do my hours this month on Bigo because I really have been like moving around, and I took like the whole month of August off. And so I'm trying to be more consistent here. So let me just share this real quick and then we will get into it. Okay. And it is 2:53 a.m. here. So, I'm not expecting too many people to be up. I know other people have regular jobs. Let me get my little thing to hold my phone, and then I'll get into what I want to actually talk about. But yeah, this cocoa was delicious. I'm still drinking it. I just took like the first 2 sips and was like, yes. It was just an idea that popped into my head. So it worked out because I was like, I need something warm to drink, like something that would be comforting but sweet, but I wouldn't feel guilty about it. So so I don't feel any guilt about this because you know what I'm saying? I put everything in there that was, healthy, so or of a higher vibration than, most. Binge thinker, I see you in the building. Good to see you. So I called this live the beginning of wisdom because I think a lot about how people have been taught for years, through religion, that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. Okay. And, having a very personal relationship with, that which we call God. I cannot, you know, teach this because, and I can't, it even hurts my ears to hear it, because when God, it's like there's nothing to fear when you know that, God is love through and through, and the love truly is without cost or condition. And it's a love that the human heart wouldn't even be able to contain, and the human mind cannot fathom. Okay, it's a love that it goes beyond, that does not contain judgment and all of the things, the human qualities that, we project upon that which we call God, because, the humans who really are not plugged into source, the only thing that they can, try to conceive God as is an exaggerated version of themselves. Okay. And so with human like qualities, which is, yes, we did get our divine qualities from God. Okay. But a lot of the lower vibrational activities that we do are very animalistic in nature, and have nothing at all to do with God. Okay. And so love is righteousness. Yes. And and love is truth, and love is God. And so, yes, all of these things are interchangeable. And when we embody love completely, then we become the God of our own reality. We don't really grasp and fully understand the power that love is, that it is a real, true, and tangible energy. Okay. And if we speak in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, which I always do, because this is what the whole entire reality, including our own physical bodies, are comprised of. And so, in terms of energy, frequency, and vibe, of course, God would be the most high, the highest vibration, which is love. Okay. And so it is the most powerful force that you can, align yourself with and use, to manifest with. And so, because we are in this dualistic reality, there are those that believe that the darkness is, more powerful than the light, hence this, age old battle between the darkness and the light. The light knows that, we don't even have to fight, because, the battle is like a one-sided beef, like the darkness is always trying to compete, always trying to copy and wanting to fight. And we're just trying to, we're just sitting here in our peace. And they know that if they come close to us, they dissolve, because darkness can't even contend with the light. So it's like, trying to compete where you don't compare, but you can, be absorbed into the all, and, accept the fact that you are but a shadow of the truth. And so in this dualistic reality, we have those that belong to what we would call the light, and those who belong to the darkness. And this is just the yin yang, the duality and the nature of this reality. And it's, the nature of this reality is also that we have free will to choose, either the illusion or the truth. And so this is what the yin yang represents. Like I said, the one side is truth, one is illusion. Okay. Both are necessary for this, experience to be had. However, only one is real. We have been given free will to choose. And, from what I, recollect, okay, from the many lives that I have lived, is that, each time, at the end of time, because there is a limit to time, okay, and it begins again. And, you are given, this is why I don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole on that, but this is why we have deja vu. This is why things such as, the Mandela effect and all of these sorts of things exist, because time is just a construct, okay, that can be manipulated by those who know how to manipulate it, okay? And so, you know, in as far as time goes, um, within the construct of time, there is a limit, okay? And so at the end, because I'm speaking of this because we're coming to it now, okay? When I always talk about the time of change, okay? So when I say a limit to time, and when we say, the end of the world is coming, this is what a religious person would say, they've been saying it for years, the end of the world. And in some aspect, this is correct, because it is the end of the world as we knew it, okay, is ending. But that does not mean the end of existence, or the end of, the earth. The earth is changing. The earth is even as we speak, cleansing herself, okay? And so a lot of the entities, the energies, anything that is not, I wanted to speak about the laws, which am talking about. So I guess I'll speak first about the law of resonance, okay? Beyond just the 7 hermetic principles, because there are, innumerable laws of the universe that we are governed by, that most people are, completely oblivious of. And so this is the knowledge, the lack thereof, that causes people to perish, because they don't understand the law. And they walk around believing that fear of the Lord, okay, fear of that which, is your savior, that which is your highest, is you in your highest form, okay, that which connects you to, the all, to have fear of that, is contradictory to, and it's not conducive to you, to anything, as far as evolving, becoming stronger, better, or wiser, okay? Fear is not of God. It is in fact an opposing force, okay? Christy McWay, I see you in the building, baby girl. Okay, I'm sending you all some love. Y'all know that when I'm channeling my messages, a lot of times my eyes are closed. So when I open my eyes, I see what's going on in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the love. Didn't expect anyone to be awake, but everything happens as it should, and everything happens in divine timing. And my messages are specifically for, only for certain ears. And so, all is as it should be. 12. Okay, so I wanted to talk about, as far as, this lie that has been told, and I said what I said. It is a lie that, the beginning of wisdom is fear of the Lord, because fear, again, is not of God. It does not serve God for any of his people to have fear in their hearts. Again, God is the energy of love, the energy of perfect love, and perfect love casts out fear. So either you're going to have fear in your heart, or you're going to have love in your heart. Okay. And this is going to determine what your world is going to be, because, as I have said before, the heart, the mind creates the reality. This is another one of the laws that we're going to talk about, but it is the subconscious mind that is creating your reality. And the subconscious, the heart, is the subconscious mind. Okay. And so to either you're going to fill your heart with fear, or you're going to fill it with love. But the fact is that they are opposing forces, and they cannot exist in the same space at the same time. Okay. And so at this time of the harvest, you are going to be having to make, you are being challenged to make a choice. Are you going to move forward in your life, in love? Because, in love, it entails many aspects. Love is not just, something that you feel for your family members and your children. It entails, compassion. for all of humanity. You know what I'm saying? It entails, wanting to truly make a difference, to say, I'm going to step up to the mic and trust God to speak through me, because there's messages that, people need to hear. It's about dedicating your entire being, in every way, and surrendering and allowing spirit to take the wheel. And the way that you do that is to allow this perfect love, which is the energy of God, to fill your heart. Okay. And as it does fill your heart, then it begins to push out the fear. And so I'm coming with a new doctrine, a new word, okay? Because I'm not saying doctrine. Let me go back and erase and take that back, because I hate the word doctrine, because it implies rules and regulations. And this is not the energy that I'm giving. Okay. So let me erase the word doctrine and say, just a new word. Okay. I will use a Rima word. Okay, that's a better description of, what I'm saying is that, when you have ears that hear God in real time, then you can write the Bible up for in 2023. You know what I'm saying? Because this is all of any of the spiritual texts that any of us subscribe to and listen to, they are just channeled messages from people who were plugged into the source, because God is spirit. Okay, and he has his chosen vessels, and his chosen vessels are the mouths of God, the hands of God. Okay, the doctors who actually work with compassion to actually truly want to be helpful and heal people. Okay, the people who sing, who are able to, tune their own. Your voice is an instrument of God, to where just with your voice alone, you are delivering people. You know what I'm saying? Not just the ones who, the singers, but this is a beautiful gift, this is a gift. It's not something that you can be taught how to do. Okay. You're either born with it or not. Okay. And so, of course, people get out here and make all sorts of things, but I'm saying the ones that actually are able to move a person's soul with their voice. This is a person who is the mouth of God. Okay, a person who is able to move you with the power of the words that they are speaking. This is, we are God. Okay, and we need to wake up to this fact. And the only way that we are is that we become, a vibrational alignment to our highest self, because the reality that we see now, we are looking through the eyes of our physical selves, and believing that this physical vessel that we are using to navigate this reality is the totality of who we are. And to deepen the understanding of the truth of who we are, it requires us to go beyond the physical and understand every aspect of the self, that we are physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional. And in order to connect all of these bodies, and be in what we call alignment, because a lot of people talk about alignment, but can't break down what are we aligning with, and what should be, which parts of ourselves are we aligning. And then once we are aligned, what is it that is the end game, and what is the goal? Okay, what is the purpose of alignment? And so the purpose of alignment is self-realization, which is to make the self real, and not understand. And most of people don't understand who and what the self is, because we have placed that which we call God outside of the physical vessel. And we look up to the sky, and we see, and I understand why, because we understand that this energy that we call God is of a much higher vibration than we are. So we look to the hills, okay, from which we know that the help is going to come. In the physical reality, we look to the sky, because we know that God, that which we call God, is above us. But what we have been bamboozled into believing is that God is separate from us. And so this is the illusion that those of us who have eyes are able to see through. And so when you're able to see through the illusion of separation from God, you're also able to see through the illusion of separation from one another. And you're able to see the oneness in everything that is living, and understanding that there is but one spirit in everything that is living. Okay. So I want to talk about what the true beginning of wisdom actually is. Okay. I really needed to feel like I need to defend, the character of who God really is, because God is the fixer of all things broken. Okay. You can come to God in your brokenness and in your dirtiness and be washed clean and be fixed. Okay. With no judgment. Okay. God wants to know that you trust me enough to know that, my love truly is without cost or condition, and that you have not allowed, men who don't even know me to, tell lies about the character of who I am. And so, the character of God is the one who loves you so much that no matter what you've done, if you come to me and ask me to fix you, I will do it. Because if truly in your heart, this is a desire that I want to be better, I want to be stronger, I want to be better, I want to be wiser. You know what I'm saying? I want to work for you. I want to help people. These, all of your requests will be given. Okay. And yes, you will be, this is a lot that you are being given. So to whom much is given, much will be expected, as far as you being willing to step to the mic and say what God is telling you to say, despite the fact that, there may be opposition coming up against you, or there may be consequences that come behind this. Because, when you are a chosen vessel and you are a willing vessel, you know that no matter what comes up against you, that there will be many weapons that form, but none of them will prosper. And when this spirit has filled your heart with love, you are fearless. Okay, there is no fear in your heart, so you're able to go forward into places where, people who have not allowed their hearts to be filled, they may have a little bit, and but no, at this point, if you are going to be standing on the front lines in this spiritual warfare, you have to be filled 100%. Okay. You cannot be sitting on the fence and still, trying to uphold the establishment of the world of duality, which is crumbling as we speak. Okay. And the world of oneness and truth, and, the world of righteousness, Eliana, is, coming down to replace the world that is crumbling before our eyes. Okay. And if we pay attention, the light is here, the light that I always spoke of, as far as, um, I always spoke of a time when there would be so much light that there would be no more darkness in which to hide for those who are, snakes in the grass, the narcs and the covert narcissists, and the people who throw rocks and hide their hands, and people who have been able to, move in angles in the darkness and in the shadows. All of the shadows are being illuminated. Okay. And so, I really want to send so much love and gratitude out to the people who are brave enough to now step up to the mic and allow your voice to be heard, and allow the truth to be unveiled. And, I see the work that you are doing, and, the divine is very pleased with all of you and with all of us, because, I am one of these truth speakers as well. And a lot of people don't understand the challenges that we come up against, when we volunteer to walk this path. Correct. The kingdom of God is being established on earth. I'm watching it happen as I'm watching the old earth, crumble. I am watching the new earth be reconfigured. Okay. And the true teachers and the true prophets, and the light workers and the way showers are beginning to step forward, and their voices are being heard. And it is truly a breath of fresh air. Okay. It's a breath of fresh air just to see narcissist masks being ripped off. Okay. So, it's beautiful to watch in the spirit realm how the light, is overcoming the darkness as we all knew that it would. Okay. So, I really want to talk about the law, because the truth is the beginning of wisdom is love of God and fear of the law. Okay, the law that God laid down to ensure that the human being is a self-correcting mechanism. Okay, so God is not sitting here, checking off every little mistake you make. God laid down laws to ensure. Okay, God is not that simple minded. Okay, again, God does not think or act like men. Okay, and so, God is not that petty, not that simple minded, you know what I'm saying, and not that, invested in, wanting to punish you for your mistakes. Okay, you are given infinity as a soul. Okay, as a spirit to perfect yourself. So it's when you get tired of running around in hypnotic rhythm and in circles and cycles, that you decide to make these corrections within yourself. Okay, God is infinity. So God does not run out of patience. Okay, but you do, however, run out of time. Okay, and so because it's a game that starts all over again, it's just like, you played the game, you had 9 lives in that game and you lost, you didn't get all your power pellets, you didn't make all the right moves and you lost, you started over. That is literally what has happened with this simulation that we call Earth. Okay, and as many times as it has happened, there are those of us that do remember certain things about it, and we think it's a dream, we think it's a, whatever, whatever they've told you, but if you really sit with yourself and be still, you will begin to understand that you are God. Be still and know that I am God. Okay, and so, but you are God in a very small, a microcosm of the truth of who you really are, because you're not, recognizing all of these other aspects of the self as parts of yourself. And so this is what, this is the whole point of growth, is to, to acclimate and to adorn yourself with all of these different aspects of yourself that cause you to, walk, talk, act, and look, and be different. And so, growth is going to change you, but growth is just the process of you going from the small you to the big you. Okay, and the big you is that which we call God. Okay, and so God is not a man or a woman, but God is the merge of the all. And so the man and the woman came from the whole. Okay, and so this is also another one of the laws that I'm going to talk about. Okay, so I talked about, um, the law that I brought up first because, and I didn't mean to bring it up first because, but it came up. Um, what was it? The law of, I wrote it down somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, the law of resonance, right? So the law of resonance is basically saying that, if you, it's something that I talk about all the time, is that, whatever it is that you're desiring, you internally, because again, the world that you see outside of you is literally mirroring back to you your own internal state of being. And so the law of resonance just simply states that, in order to be in the reality, because there are different levels of reality, and as you rise in your own internal vibration, you slip into these different timelines, and whether it looks the same or not, there will be subtle differences to show you that, my world has changed because my internal landscape has changed. Okay, there are a million different versions of Earth, and who inhabits each one is according to their internal vibration. Okay, and so the law of resonance just states that, whatever it is that you are desiring, you must, become a vibrational match to that. And so the whole purpose of, constantly and continuously raising your vibrations is because the goal is heaven, right? The highest vibration. And so we must continue to ascend. And, the way that we do that is to know, first of all, that we need to do it, and then to figure out how to do it and to put in that work to actually make it happen. Okay. It's not something this vague theory, this is actual work and things that we can do day to day to, what I'm saying, to actually raise the vibration and actually see these changes happening in our world. And so the law of resonance is, again, you have to match internally first the vibration with the vision that you have in your mind, with whatever you've put on your vision board. If you're a person who makes vision boards, whatever you're writing in your journal, you know what I'm saying? However it is that you manifest, you have to learn how to get yourself to match that vibration and to maintain that internal vibration long enough to see these things to begin to materialize in your reality. Okay, now I could not speak of these things if I had not already been doing it. Okay, and so everybody knows that the motto of my old channel was do what you got to do to make shit happen. Okay. And so I'm giving you the secrets, okay, of the universe to teach you how to make shit happen. Tesla, who I study extensively, and you guys know, and whom I'm always quoting, because it's the deepest truth that you can know. It is the knowledge that will keep you from perishing, and it help you to understand, what's really going on in your reality and what power you have over your own experience. Is that, to understand the secrets of the universe is, it is necessary to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay. Even when it comes down to God, when it comes down to every person's home that you enter, every new city or state that you visit, every new country you visit, everything, the food that you eat, the thoughts that you think, everything has its own unique energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay. So this entire reality is made up of energy, frequency, and vibration. Okay. And so since I brought up vibration, let's talk about the law of vibration, which is one of the spiritual laws, okay, that just states that everything is moving, whether you can see that or not. Okay, so even a rock, which appears to be sitting still under, certain types of microscopes, you can see that this rock is even vibrating at a certain rate. Okay, and so the higher that something vibrates, okay, when we say that we see ghosts, apparitions, angels, it's really, if it looks like something that is almost like see-through, you can think of this as like looking at the blades of a fan. And when the fan is standing still, you can see all the blades, but when you speed the fan up, all the blades seem to blur into one kind of thing that you can is almost translucent, because the vibration of it has sped up so much that now your visual sight, what you're looking at, looks like looks different. So this is how it is when we're dealing with beings that are on different spectrums of light according to their frequency and vibrations. So when we're dealing with angelic beings, a lot of people cannot see them because they are of a higher vibration than you are. Now, anything that is of a higher vibration than you are can see you, but you cannot see it. Okay. But if it, this just is like us, we can we can compare this to anything like in our reality, as far as us being feeling like we are the most evolved creatures as far as in the animal kingdom. There's a lot of things we can see, but they can't see us, as far as because they're so small and we're so big. Ants, gnats, things like that. they can't see you. You know what I'm saying? They may see little parts of you, just like we see little parts of God, but you can't see the whole because of how much bigger you are than they are. This is basically, the reason why you can't see, angels in anything that is of a higher vibration than yourself. And this is why you can't see God, because you are a part of God, and you would have to put every piece of the God puzzle back together and have a mirror, okay, in order to look that in. So speaking of the mirror, this is the whole purpose of this world of duality, and having that mirror. The mirror is not a direct reflection, but it is an opposite, because God, who sits in a state of perfection at all times, and you have to have a contrast in order to see yourself. So it's not like I need something that's an exact replica of me, but I need something that is, that can be, that is, it's so, just picture, a candle or a light bulb. If it's surrounded by all other lights, then that light cannot know what it is, because this is the whole, it's just you know what I'm saying? This is all that there is, which is God, which is what God is. God is the all that is. But the genius of God, in order to, feel like, I want to see myself, I want to experience, I know perfection as a concept, but now I want to experience perfection as a tangible reality. And so the only way that I can do that, because I cannot I cannot stop being perfect. I cannot stop being whole. I cannot stop being the all that is. But I can, however, create an illusion of a reality, okay, where it appears. Because I'm that dope. I got it like that. Okay. I can recreate an illusion where parts of me go into this illusion to experience that which is not God. Okay, but it is in fact an illusion, which is why I explain yin and yang as both being necessary for this experience to be had, but only one is real. Okay, and so the parts of us who get sent in, these are the chosen ones, these are the chosen vessels of the Most High. Okay, we are the ones who come into the illusion part of it, okay, into the dark side, and represent and continue to represent the whole, okay, with the truth, which is the light, okay, hence the light worker, you know what I'm saying, hence the star seed, which again is a light, hence the, the Kemetic, when they would be pronouncing the pharaohs, from transitioning from life to life, because they did not acknowledge death as a reality, but they knew that death, just as my native ancestors, referred to death as a changing of worlds. They pronounced that person's soul, the spirit, the true self, the true identity, which is in fact life itself, which is immortal. They would pronounce that being an imperishable Ak, which translates as an indestructible star. Once again, a light. Okay, and so the light is the truth of who you are. It is that imperishable Ak. It is an indestructible star that has had many and will go on to continue to have many experiences. Okay, because it is that which we call God. Okay, and at the core of everything that is living is this same imperishable Ak, this same indestructible star, this light. Okay, and this is only you know God's people who are carrying this, because again, the story, the parable of the wheat and the tares, is to let us understand, for those who have ears to hear, that again, the devil is not a creator, but he is a mimicker, a copier, a regurgitator. And so the wheat, the parable about the wheat and the tares is, God does something first, and then the enemy comes and copies, because that's all you can do. You don't have the gift of creativity. You know what I'm saying? And so you copy. And so he created the tares, but it's like you look like the real thing, but you don't have any true value or any true use, in the true kingdom. Okay. It is not part of the truth, but it is part of the illusion. Okay. And we can relate the story of the wheat and the tares to a lot of different aspects of life, as far as who is my true love and who is the illusion. Because a lot of people, let's talk about divine counterparts. Okay. Because there are a lot of divine counterparts who are being faced right now, because that we are at the time of the harvest. um am I going to choose the person that I really love, or am I going to choose the person that I have built this illusion with? Okay. Or people are going to be faced with issues such as, am I going to choose what I really love to do? As what I'm going to do is to make a living, or am I going to choose this career that I built in to, sustain myself within the illusion? Am I going to go and live off the grid and build the community that I really, in my heart, I want to do, because I know we're supposed to be together, and I want to build this community of like-minded people, and really help build the new earth in the way that it really should be? Am I going to really do that and follow my heart because that's my truth? Or am I going to go and, sign this contract for a 30-year mortgage so I can have the quote unquote American dream, and live in this illusion of happiness with someone that I don't even really love and want to lay next to, and damn sure don't want to think about spending the rest of my days with? Okay. And so at this time, a lot of people are being faced with choices. Okay. And the choice is between truth and illusion, because the illusion is being dissolved as we speak. And so a lot of people who love, what they have built in the illusion, is just like the metaverse. People buying properties and all of that is just like the game of Monopoly. It's just like the rich man who wanted to enter into heaven and was asked, and said, you can definitely come in, but you have to give up your earthly riches. And the man walked away sad, because he was so attached to those earthly things that he couldn't even understand that you didn't think that heaven was going to be better than, what I'm saying? And so people are so in love with what they have created within the illusion, and so attached to it, that unfortunately some of them are going to be dissolved along with the illusion. Okay. And the beliefs like fear of the Lord being the beginning of wisdom is, a lot of the misconceptions that have caused people to perish for lack of the true knowledge. The true knowledge is that, when you are in your most brokenness, and when you are doing your wrongest, when it feels like the devil has taken hold of you, and I'm doing things and I don't even know why I'm doing it. I'm out here hurting people. I'm hurting myself, my family. You know what I'm saying? This is when you go to God. But people have you believing that you have to fix yourself, and I got to clean myself up, and I got to get myself together before I can go. And this is a lie. Okay. This is when God wants you to come, because you are very weak. You are vulnerable at this time. And it is in your weakness that God's strength is made perfect. It is when you surrender and say, I have an addiction. I'm codependent. I'm afraid to be alone. I'm afraid of whatever it is that is your weakness or your fear. At this time, you need to be surrendering that to the Most High, because God has already overcome this world. Okay. God created this world and can show you the way to also overcome it. So thinking that, I got to fix myself and I got to get myself together, because people have taught you that God is a judge and an oppressor, and just sitting off, checking off every little mistake that you make. These people have lied to you and misled you, and they will pay, okay, for placing this distance or causing you to feel fear of going before someone who, a love that you can't even imagine. Okay. A love that, if any of you who are parents, if you have children, especially to my mothers out here, you know what I'm saying? The ones who, would give your life for your children. I don't care if my children murdered and ate 12 people. Okay, nothing is going to change my love for them. Okay, and if I have the power of God to heal whatever it is that is within them that caused them to do that, and to fix everything that, the whole situation, then I would choose to do that, okay, out of love, rather than to just destroy you because you made a mistake, or because you were unhealed or possessed, or, you know what I'm saying, lost. Okay, God has more compassion than any man can ever fathom. Okay, God is exactly, but you have faith and be of good courage. Okay, because God is the fixer, and there should be no fear in coming before God. The people who fear God are the people who know that they have been going against divine order, who know that they are under divine judgment, who know, because we are inherently born knowing what is right and wrong. Okay, so the people who gaslight and act like they don't know any better, these are the people who fear God, because they know God can see their heart. And that gaslighting and that lying and that pretending to go retarded all of a sudden, is not going to work on God. They would not dare to even try to open their mouth to form the lies that they tell to anyone else in the face of one who they know, who can see through illusions. Okay, and so this is why certain people, such as myself, okay, are hated by people who are habitual pathological liars. Pathological meaning that this is the path that they choose for their life. Pathological liars choose the path of illusions and lies and deception. So these are the people who are always lying because the truth ain't in them. Okay, what is in them? See, the truth is in God's people, because God is the truth. The truth is love. Love is all that matters. Love is the only thing that is real. Love manifests itself into this physical reality as light. Okay, and this is why I can see your halo. Okay, because that light is emanating from your heart center and literally illuminating your entire body, or illuminating the crown. You are crowned with this light. Okay, some of us can see that, and there are those who are filled to the brim with darkness, and they are always forever after your light. Okay, in which, in my yellow brick road analogy, I use the ruby slippers. Okay, it's all the same thing. They want your gifts. It's the God in you. They love it. They admire it. They covet it. They admire you. But admiration for a narcissistic person, the children of the most low, equals hatred and jealousy. Okay, this is their pathology. And what I mean by that is, this is the path that they walk. This is the path that they choose to take. If I see something, if I see a woman and she's beautiful, instead of being inspired by her, or being, they feel like, why did she get to be beautiful? That should have been me. And therefore, I don't like her. It does not make any sense, my people. So don't try to make sense of it. I'm trying to explain to you the mindset of someone who is insane. Okay, the narcissist, the sociopath, the psychopath, and even the borderline personality are insane. Okay, why are they insane? Because the devil has a grip on their minds. Okay, and they think it is on their intellect, but it is on their hearts, because what they don't understand, the knowledge that they don't have, that has caused them to perish, is that the heart is the subconscious mind. And it is the devil, it is this mind that the devil has a grip on in most people. This is why most of your masculine energies are emotionally unavailable. Okay? Because the devil has a grip on their mind, their subconscious mind. Okay? And has had a grip on it for a long time. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. The beginning of wisdom is fear of the law. Okay, and in order to fear the law, you must first understand the law, and then you don't even have to fear the law. There's one law that you need to fear, and only there you don't. There's no need to ever fear anything if you are righteous, okay, in your heart and in your intent towards other people. If you follow the supreme command that encompasses all of the other commandments, which was to love the Most High with all your heart and all your mind, and then to love the neighbor as the self, which means to dissolve the illusion of separation between God and one another, which is what I have come to do. The law of mentalism states that all is mind. These are the laws of the universe that they are saying that, the beginning of wisdom is fear of the law. I'm going to explain to y'all the laws that govern our movements in this universe, that have always governed them, and that we are largely ignorant or unaware of, or not we're operating within the laws because they are inescapable. However, we do not understand. Okay, so this is how you get lost in the sauce. All is mind. Correct, life misunderstood. So all is mind is basically saying that your mind is creating your reality. Everything you see around you, okay, is a reflection of what is going on within the mind. However, people don't explain to you that it is not the intellect that we are speaking of, okay? But it is the true mind. It is the heart that thinks, okay? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So when you understand that it is the condition of your heart that is creating your reality, then you will understand why you were advised to guard your heart, and why all the issues of life are flowing from the heart, because the heart is the subconscious mind that is creating your reality. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So mentalism, okay, because y'all, this is important, because I'm telling you how to take control over your own reality and become a master manifester, okay, to become the god and goddess that you were meant to be, because it is time, okay. And I have already taught all of these principles, not all of them, because I'm going to go beyond the ones that I have taught. But if you are interested in them, they are on my Patreon, okay? Oshun Aje exclusive on Patreon. These classes I taught years ago, the 7 Hermetic Principles, okay? So it is a video series called Badass Magic or something like that, because at that time I was the Badass Magic Shop, and I think it's the Badass Magic classes for the people who are follow me on Patreon. So that information is already there, including illustrations and examples of the way that these laws work in our reality. So the first law, again, mentalism, all is mind, is to understand that your mind is creating your reality, and not the intellect, but the true mind, which is the heart. Okay, which we refer to as the subconscious mind. Okay, it is the true mind that thinks and that is creating. This cocoa I made is so good, y'all, because for one, it's all natural. But like when you use the real vegan cacao powder, and then oat milk is so creamy. It is just so good to me. And then I put Saigon cinnamon, which has a really strong cinnamon flavor. And I put the sugar, the coconut palm sugar. I'm telling you, y'all got to try it. This is like the most delicious hot cocoa that I have ever made. Okay. I just had to point that out. Okay. But so let's also talk about so all is mind. So are we all understood on all is mind? We are. I want to make sure that we are all clear on the fact that Let me share my live again on Bigo, that, it is your mind that is creating your reality. Reality is not something that is already out there that you don't have any control over. It is not something that is happening to you. It is something that is happening for you, and it is something that you can fully take control of, especially when it comes to your own individual reality, but as well as being, especially when you gather together with other people of like mind with a shared vision, then this is how the new earth is going to be created. Okay, people of like light coming together to build this new earth. Okay, and these are constructs that are first created in the spirit realm, and then that we that through a set of events come to life and materialize in our earth realm. And this is where we are on the cusp of coming together as the parts of the God puzzle, the body of God, and recognizing one another, recognizing where we fit into the puzzle. What is it that I bring to the table? Validating one another and the value of what you actually are bringing to the table, to the puzzle, and putting this puzzle back together so that all can be as it should be. The law of correspondence is basically stated as, as above, so below. Or, what is loosed on earth is loosed in heaven. Okay. The law of correspondence is basically saying that, you know, because the way I do it with my own practice is like, if I start to feel anxiety or something, I always tell myself, if I think something is getting ready to happen in my outer world, because I'm so sensitive, I feel things. I know how to calm my anxiety just by telling myself, peace within, peace, then peace will be without. Meaning that if I achieve this peaceful state within my own being, then nothing chaotic is going to be happening in my world. Okay, so this is a good way to state the law of correspondence. Is saying as above, so below. As above is basically what you're holding in that highest part of yourself, which again, you don't recognize to be your heart. Okay, the subconscious mind, because of the connotation of it, we don't understand that this is actually our higher mind. It is our mind that has the power to actually create and reconfigure your reality. And so, as above, so below is basically saying what is in your mind, which is the highest aspect of the self, is what is going to appear in your physical reality, which is the lowest aspect of the self. Okay. And so, as above, so below is saying that which I create within my mind, which we must continue to, understand is the heart, is what is going to be mirrored to me in my physical reality. So I hope that this is making sense, my people. So this was the law of correspondence. Okay, what is loose? Oh, I like to, because when I hear these laws, these spiritual laws, for me, I always get the download of a scripture that goes right along with it, because it literally is, it's just the laws that, again, these are inescapable laws that people have been ignorant of, or have just chosen not to, adhere to. And so when we go against the grain, then we end up struggling and making life a lot harder than it needs to be, for us. Okay, so again, as above, so below. What is in your heart is what is going to be in your world. What is in your mind is what is going to be in your world. And so you have every bit of control over this, whether we believe it or not. Okay, it takes discipline, it takes work on the self, and this is the work that we need to be doing. When I speak of shadow work and inner child work, which I'm going to be going deeper into, using the shadow work journal as a guideline to just give us some structure, and to help us to understand this show, because we talk a lot about what shadow work is, but a lot of people actually don't know how to do it. And so we're actually going to get into it hands on and really talk about how to do it. The law of vibration is another one of the immutable laws of the universe. Okay, again, stating that everything is moving. Okay, even a rock, you can look under a microscope and even the rocks is moving. So when the reason why this is important is to understand that even your thoughts have energy. Everything is energy and it's moving. It's energy in motion. So your energy in motion is what causes you to feel, which is why we call it emotion. So anytime you're feeling something in your physical body, it is because there's energy moving there. Okay, and this is as it should be. Energy should never become stagnant. Okay, and so it should always be moving, which is why we raise our vibrations when we get up and move our body around. If we get up and dance or work out, or just move some energy around, even if we just change the furniture around in your house. The whole principles behind the feng shui, the whole feng shui belief system is energy and the movement of energy, and the conscious manipulation and directing of energy, which we have every right to do. And so understanding that everything is moving, if it, even if it appears to be still, like I said, even a rock, even this desk that I'm sitting at atomic and subatomic levels with the right microscope, you will see that it's a bunch of moving. It's atoms vibrating. Everything is vibrating. And so we have to understand that, and so that we learn that we have to, because all of these laws are they go in, they click in with one another. Okay, they are interchangeable. So when we are working with the law of vibration, as far as understanding that everything is moving, then we also have to understand the law of polarity. Okay, this is another one of the laws. Okay, so the law of polarity is basically duality. It's the yin yang. It's the fact that states that everything has an opposite. Okay, that everything has poles. Okay, even this earth has a north and south pole. Okay, so saying there's an up and a down to everything. There's a light and a dark. There's a male and a female. But then we don't have to get into the male and female, because that's a whole nother law. That would be the law of gender. Okay, but so the law of polarity is we're going to stick to it being related to duality, and that opposites are identical in nature, as far as let's just say God and devil energy. They are the same energy. So this is what I mean by saying that they are identical in nature, but they are different in degrees. Okay, different in degrees of light. Okay, God has all of the light, and so imagine a spectrum of light that is very bright at one end, and at the other end there's darkness. This is what the spectrum of God and devil energy looks like. So the law of polarity is stating duality, is saying that every opposites are what appear, things that appear to be opposite are actually the same energy, just in different degrees. And this has to be true when you understand the law of oneness, because everything that has been created was created from the same thing. God is the all that is, the Alpha and the Omega. So everything that has been created was created from the body of God. And so the law of polarity is saying that in this illusion that was created, where there appears to be places, people, places, and things that don't contain God, again, is an illusion. Okay, in order for God to understand, it's just like how death helps us to appreciate life, or being poor helps you to appreciate finally getting some money, rather than it being already being born with money. You don't know what rich is, because this is just your normal reality, and it can become very, it can be boring. It can be, very, there's no stimulation there. There's, but when you give yourself this experience of going from not being rich to actually now I am rich, there is a joy, a satisfaction, a greater level of appreciation for that. So this is the reason why this illusion of, separation from God was even created, so that God could experience the perfection that God is. And the only way that you can do that is to have something that appears to be the opposite. Okay, and so that is why the law of polarity exists. Either way, the what we need to understand about it is, though things appear to be different, everything is the same energy, and it's just at different energies. Everything in creation, and this is funny because I've been trying to explain this, because I got the download about this when I was a little girl. Okay, when I was a little girl, and I've been trying to explain it. I've been getting downloads. I would say I was probably about between 10 and 12 years old, maybe younger than that. I'd say I was between 8 and 10 years old, maybe eight, between 8 and 12, somewhere. I remember trying to explain this download that I had gotten, that God has showed me, that everything that exists is made out of the same thing. Okay, and I understood it, but I couldn't fully, articulate it. I mean, I said it in these exact words: everything is made out of the same thing. But it was in an age where people were really less awakened than they are, and they couldn't get it. But basically, opposites are identical in nature, but different in degrees. Okay, so everything in creation really was made from the body of God, and they're just given different degrees of light. Okay, and so everything has different poles. There's hot and cold, there's light and dark, there's love and hate. Okay, and these are all, for example, love and hate are the same energy. They are an emotion. Okay, but just different degrees. Okay, and this is why they say that there is a thin line between love and hate, because once you might be teetering in the middle, right? We're in that gray area. So I might, because for whatever reason, we ain't even gonna say the reason, but you may be sitting on the fence between that polarity. And someone does something, and it can definitely cross that line, because love and hate literally are the same energy. Okay, just at different degrees. Okay, different polarities of light. And so when we love, we are radiating that light. When we are loving someone, we are like the sunshine, and we are sun, directing our rays of sun towards that person. But when we hate, we pull it back. And whether whatever we're doing with it, it is the same energy. Okay, it's just how we're moving with that energy, and what we're doing with that energy. And so that's important to understand. Okay, everything that appears to be opposites is an identical energy at different degrees. Okay, so God and devil energy, we all contain it. Okay, and at the time of the harvest, and all throughout your life, with every decision that you make, you are being faced with, am I going to, be God, or am I going to be the devil? Because everyone has that choice. When we came into this reality, I can, play the devil's advocate, and I can do the devil's work. I can go around narking and starting arguments with people, and just being a tyrant in society, or I can be the mouth of God to deliver the messages that God has given me. I can go out and, feed the homeless, and show them that God is real, that good people do exist. You know what I'm saying? I can try to, help people get through the things that I have gone through, that I can prove to them that God is real, because I know that I wouldn't have got through it without God. It's about choices. And so a lot of people are choosing from their pain, because they have not healed. And so they choose to go out and do things like start arguments with people, and you know what I'm saying, road rage, and be abusive, and covert narking and things like this. Okay, and so there is a need for healing. Okay, most of the planet is they need a damn exorcism. Okay. and they need to heal because, I would really say about, 85 to 90% of the entire planet's populations, their inner child is still wounded, okay, and needs some attention and needs some healing, okay. And so it's important to understand these laws, okay. The law of rhythm, okay, is understanding. It's, I when I did this illustrated this for my class, I used the pendulum to, because the pendulum is a perfect example of the law of rhythm, as far as, if it's going to swing to the right, it's going to swing back to the left as well, meaning that, you're going to sometimes have some good days, and you're going to have some bad days. You got to take the salt with the sugar, that in this reality we have our ups and downs, okay. Nobody stays in that one vibration forever. There are hills and valleys, okay? And the measure of the swing to the right is, equal to the measure of the swing to the left, okay? So the swing to the left, as far as, if I swing to the left, say I got off my path, or I went over and I started, doing whatever, this is not what I want to be doing. It's the swing back to the right is going to compensate for that. So it's like, say a person, called themselves a Christian, and they was in church and they backslid. So that will be their swing to the left. Okay. And if the law of polarity, no, not the law of polarity, the law of rhythm states that, if, okay, I swung back over here, it's like, first of all, I was on the right, now and swung back to the left, okay. But if I belonged on the right, then I'm going to swing back. So there's a push back and forth in this law of rhythm that says, I may be having a bad day today, but it has to change, because the law of rhythm says that there are seasons, and there are, the only thing that is guaranteed in this world is changes. And so tomorrow is going to be a different day. And so tomorrow, every day cannot be the same day, unless, of course, I'm stuck in hypnotic rhythm. Okay. And so the law of rhythm is saying that, I may be, in my dark night of the soul now, but, my swing back into the light is going to compensate for my dip into the dark night of the soul. Okay. So saying that, for me, the way I see this in my life is that, I've been through the valley, I've been through the darkness, and I feel like I'm just now getting to the good part. You know what I'm saying? So that was my swing to the left, being in relationships with narcs and people that didn't love me, and not realizing that I didn't love myself enough. And that's why they were mirroring that back to me, and realizing that there was deep generational curses, that I was the one who was called to break them, and going through the breaking of them, and, just all of this, up to the point where I'm at the Judas and Peter betrayal. Okay. So I have definitely done my swing to the left. Okay. And so the law of rhythm states that now that you have swung to the left, now the swing to the left, your swing to the right is going to compensate for that, meaning that now you get all these blessings. Now you get to the good part, okay? Because God is just and fair. And sometimes when we get that swing to the left, we forget the law of rhythm, and that, this can't last always, that things have to change, okay? That, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change is going to come, okay? That change is coming as we speak. We are in the time of change, my people. We have been in the left, and now the swing to the right that we are getting ready to do is going to compensate for all that you have gone through. And I'm speaking to a specific, a specific portion of the collective. I'm speaking to God's people, because only you can hear and even decipher the language that I'm speaking right now. Okay. So your dark night of the soul will be coming to an end. And again, the measure of the swing to the right is the measure of the swing to the left, meaning that the depth of sorrow and pain and loss that you have experienced, you will experience that same degree of joy and peace and love and abundance as you swing to the other side. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, that's how just and fair that God is, because I once again, don't forget that you volunteered to come into this illusion of reality, and it was a sacrifice for God, because God is in you, and so through you God is getting to experience something that he would not be able to experience had you not volunteered to be a chosen vessel to come into the illusion. Because God cannot ever stop being the truth. God cannot ever stop being perfect. God cannot ever stop being love. But in order for God to experience what those things really are in a tangible way, he required he vessels. Okay, and this is the empathic people, who have come into been sent out as sheep among wolves, into a reality that where there appears that God is not. Okay, in an illusion. And so your challenge, my people, is to remember the truth and to always walk in the truth, to see through the illusion. You were given eyes that are able to see through it, and ears that hear what God is saying despite the devil's lies. Okay? So I want to remind you of the law of rhythm because it's important. Okay? A lot of you have swung to the left. And I just want to remind you that your swing to the right is going to be to the exact degree. And for me, I'm so happy, and I know it's true because it's already starting to happen. I have cried at so many tears. I literally believe that they would make a river if you was to put them all together. And so knowing the depths, I mean, I've talked about it a lot over the years, dealing with narcissistic people. I mean, you literally dancing with the devil and fighting with the devil, for your own soul, because they trying to take it. Okay. And so, having gone through things like that, knowing that I have experienced depths of pain that a normal human being, I didn't even think a person could survive, understanding that your swing to the right is going to compensate for that, it's like levels of joy and and opulence and all of my heart's desires on a level that I also cannot fathom. And that's the justness of God. Okay, miraculous things have already begun to happen in my life, you know what I'm saying, since I've begun to swing back to the other side. So I'm not just talking in theory, I'm speaking from experience. Okay, you will be repaid. So, the scripture that says, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. This is true, but it has such a deeper meaning, because the people who mourn, they're doing something that God can't do. Okay? That God cannot do, because God is always happy and in a state of perfection and is the highest vibration. But if you come in and you consent and surrender to, this illusion of separation, you are allowing God to feel like, damn, you know, not damn, but you know what I'm saying, to understand what I really am, how perfect I am, when I see what it would be if I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't exist, if I wasn't in a place, you know what I'm saying? So it just allows God to see his greatness. And so when we go through that darkness and then we swing back over to the right, all the glory goes to God and we give it to God. And it's because God is not separate from us. You're not sending your power outside of yourself. You are recognizing the relationship is, the guide, the God that you speak of is internal. It's you. You know what I'm saying? It is the highest part of you. The lower self, the part of you that is in physicality, you have forgotten. You are in what we call a psychoma, which is a mass hypnosis that most of people that are in this reality are under. And the great awakening, which is happening as we speak, is you awakening from that dream of separation from God, awakening from that illusion of this duality. The truth is that there is only one being here having many experiences. Okay, so at the core of everything living is the same spirit. So even the twin flame reunion moves in this law of rhythm, and rhythms and cycles, as far as coming together. In the twin flame reunion and the twin flame separation is the personification of the law of rhythm. Making love is a personification of the law of rhythm. I'm sorry, a manifestation of the law of rhythm. In and out, up and down, back and forth. Okay. This is the law of rhythm in action, and the twin flame dynamic, okay, of the reunion and the separation is the law of rhythm in action. Okay. um, Other examples of the law of rhythm would be the seasons changing, the waxing and the waning of the moon. Nothing stays the same, but it's changed. Everything is forever changing, because again, it is energy, and again, all of these laws that I'm speaking of are interchangeable. So, the law of vibration is saying that all energy is moving, it must move. Okay. The law of rhythm is saying it will move back and forth, it will move in cycles. You know what I'm saying? So um, the law of polarity is saying it will move, from the darkness to the light. You will have hills and valleys, you will have ups and downs. Okay. These are all immutable laws and inescapable laws that we all are being governed by, that if we understood them on a deeper level, we would be able to work within them in order to create the desired our desired outcome. Okay. But again, seasons changings, the waxing, the waning of the moon, periods of stillness, and then periods of growth, periods of creativity, and periods of, maybe having writer's block. These are all, examples of this law of rhythm, as far as having high points and low points in your life. This is, an immutable law, and everyone has them. Okay. The law of cause and effect, which this is the law that most people are most familiar with, because it's the law of karma. Okay. And it simply states that, I always put things in my own words, but basically that you will experience the effects of that which you have caused. Okay. And so I know that in the Kabbalion or in other books where you read this law, it's not going to say it in those words, but that's basically what it means. Okay. You will experience the effects of that which you have caused, meaning that which you think that you have caused for other people is actually going to happen to you. Okay. There are many, planes of causation, as far as, people sending someone the evil eye, having bad thoughts about another person, gossiping about another person. This is all energy. Your words, your thoughts, all of this is you moving energy around. Okay. And so the law of cause and effect is, if I cause another person to feel embarrassment, humiliation, loss, fear, whatever, anxiety, just know that some experience, it may not be the exact same circumstances, but the energy, it will be the exact same energy. It will come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And this is an inescapable law that some people seem to think that they can escape. Okay. Again, there are many planes of causation. You can cause things to happen in the lives of other people simply by sending them negative thoughts, thinking negative things. And these energies that you have sent out will be coming back to you. Okay. And so whether you acknowledge that you have been the cause of something or not, um, what is happening in your life will let you know. Okay. And so the law of cause and the effect is basically saying that, what goes around comes around. Okay. And that nothing escapes this law. Okay. And the reason why nothing escapes this law is because there is but one being here having many experiences. So if I'm the one sending the energy out and I'm the only one here, I'm the only one that's going to receive the energy. Okay. So in the illusion, it appears that I'm doing something to another person or that I'm sending something out to another person. But in the reality, the reason why you are the one who's going to feel that is because the truth is that there is but one being here having many experiences. And so this is why you were told to love that one being with all your heart and to also treat the neighbor as the self, because the truth is that there is one being and that the neighbor is another aspect of the self. Okay? So every choice that you make, it does have it's an energy. Your thoughts are an energy, your words are an energy, and they have further reaching effects than they have domino effects. So if happen to be, you say today, I'm not in a good mood and I woke up cussing people out, and I insulted a person at work. That person, now they're having a bad day, and now they might go home and put that bad energy on their families, and everything has a ripple effect. Okay. And so just because you're unaware of the ripple effect of the energy that you're putting out, you still will be you still going it's going to still going to come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, because it affected more than it went through many different layers of it had a domino effect. And so what it's doing is going around this figure eight loop of infinity, in which you cannot escape your own energy, and it's gathering more energy of like vibration. And so by the time it gets back to you, whether it was a positive energy or whether it was a negative energy, it is going to be multiplied. It will have snowballed. And that's why karma hits you back in the face hard. That's why it comes back tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold sometimes, because how much fervency did you put it out? How much hatred and how much energy did you have behind that hatred when you put it out there? That's why it's coming back to you in the way that it is. How much love and what was your intent when you gave that homeless family $200? That's why God blessed you with 20,000. Okay, so this is how this energy works, and if you learn how it works, then you naturally become a self-correcting mechanism. Because if you want good things to happen in your life, you learn how to radiate good energy. Okay, there's no other way to win. Okay, there are non-believers who believe that they can cheat their way through life, but they will continuously find themselves being placed, even right when they get to the finish line, they will be picked up by the universe and placed right back at the start point, because cheaters never win, and there is no way to cheat in the real game of life. Okay, you will be picked up right before you think you about to enter them golden gates, and set right back at the starting point to start over, do it right, don't cheat. Okay, and there's no way. You have to become a vibrational match. And trying to cheat and trying to look like and act like someone who is a vibrational match is not going to work. And in fact, it's an insult to the spirit realm, as if we can't really see you, as if we can't really weigh your heart, if we don't see your true intentions. Okay. And so this is why you get picked up and set back at point zero to start all over from scratch and do it right. Okay, that's all God does to you. God don't have no need to destroy you in all of the ways. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't it's situations where there will be avenging angels and even demons allowed to enter into situations, because everybody works for God. Okay, into situations to teach certain lessons, to set certain examples. Okay, to avenge certain things that were unjust. But this is not, God is love through and through. And this is why he employs, other aspects of self. God as a whole, is love through and through, and everything that is being done, even the destruction that you don't understand the necessity for, is out of love. because you don't understand what's happening spiritually when something needs to be destroyed, when something needs to be dismantled and reconfigured, when something needs to be shaken up a little bit and and revealed and exposed. And so there's a lot that we don't understand that we need to learn how to surrender to and accept, because there's really only one master in control of everything. Okay. And if you the way you become in control of your own personal experience is that you align with that master. Okay. That master is the spirit that is at the core of every one of you, waiting for you to join the conversation. Okay, to stop scrolling on TikTok, to get off of Facebook and Instagram and all of these other things that you are on, and to go within. Okay, because if you continue to go within, and if you continue to not go within, you will continue to go without. Okay, because all the answers are within. Your magic it will be found within. Your strength, your wisdom, your answers, your abundance, everything that you need is in the kingdom, and the kingdom is within, and God who created the kingdom is living there. Okay, it's in your heart. And so looking for it outside of yourself, I understand the symbolism of looking to the sky and looking to the hills, because we do know that this is a higher, this is a higher aspect of us. It's the big me. This is what I've always referred to it as, the big me, and I'm the little me, because that's what it is. And so I understand that, but I don't want people to mistake that and take that literally, because God is not outside of you ever. God is always inside of you, no matter where you are, whether you in prison, whether you locked in somebody's trunk getting kidnapped, you know what I'm saying? Whether no matter where you are, in the crack house, wherever, God is right there with you. And this is why when you're doing things wrong, whether you think somebody's seeing you or not, you have that paranoia, because you know that God saw you. Okay, in your subconscious mind, in your heart, which a lot of people ignore. So this is why they can't identify why I'm paranoid, why I'm scared all the time, why am I hyper vigilant, because you're not listening to your heart. Okay, your heart knows exactly why you're paranoid and scared and vigilant, because it knows what you did. It knows the intentions that you had when you did it. But because I ignore my heart, I'm gonna act like I don't even know why I feel like this. I just have anxiety. I'm just paranoid. I just don't trust people. And a lot of times when people have those types of trust issues, it's because they are untrustworthy. Okay, because most people are doing nothing but projecting again your internal state of being onto the world, which is why narcissistic people are always accusing the people around them of doing the things that they are actually doing to them, because they refuse to acknowledge the mirror that is the universe, that is. So like I said, as far as when it comes to um these laws, everything that you're doing, it does have a domino effect. Being cruel sets off a domino effect. Being, just being nasty, it sets off a domino effect, and it is coming back. Just as being positive and good and inspirational sets off a positive effect, and it is coming back. Okay. So the law of gender, okay, the law of gender is a law that governs everything in this universe. In order to create, you must have that negative and positive charge. You must have that feminine and masculine aspect, okay, in order to create anything. This is necessary. The yin yang is an example of the law of gender, okay? One representing the masculine energy, the other representing the feminine energy. We all carry both of these energies within us, okay? And at times we need to activate them, at different times. So at times, a woman who is naturally receptive, naturally nurturing, naturally healing, sometimes we have to switch or develop, for those who have not developed their masculine qualities. You also have to learn how to be assertive. You have to learn how to be action oriented as well. You have to learn how to, be giving as well, and not always looking to receive. And so the balance that we have to achieve within ourselves is this balance between this law of gender. It has nothing to do with the perversions that people have done to the physical reality, because everything, the blueprint of everything is spiritual. Okay. And so if spiritually had made these changes, you would not have to the changes that are going to happen to you physically are going to happen naturally. Okay. So for example, a man who is feminine, is very in his feminine energy. We all know a beautiful man who is more beautiful, like a woman that is pretty, a pretty man. Okay. This is the manifestation of this man's feminine energy being held, but he's not trying to become a whole woman. He's just being how he is, maybe androgynous, maybe I'm gay, maybe, but I'm not trying to completely change myself on the outside, because what's happening on the inside, okay, is going to determine the outside. This is the same thing as saying, seek first the kingdom which is within, and all of these things will be added unto you. Okay. So if you accept who you are on the inside, and if you happen to be a masculine energy that is more feminine, then you are going to appear more androgynous. Okay. Someone who kind of looks like Prince. Okay. And a person like that, whether people admit it or not, these people are attractive to both sexes. I'm not saying they are attracted to both sexes. I'm not saying that they are not. Okay. But what I'm saying is they are attractive to both sexes. Okay. Men and women are attracted to a person who is balanced, because you have what they both want. Okay. And so a person, so like I said, people, a person who, a Prince is a good example. If y'all know, I'm sure y'all know who Prince is, of that androgyny that you achieve. And not saying that once you achieve it, you're gonna start looking like Prince or acting like Prince. I mean, I have achieved this balance within myself, and so I'm not doing all of that, and not saying there was anything wrong with what he was doing, but it will change you to where you can switch from side to side. I have a very soft and gentle part of myself that is very giving, very open, very still very innocent. Okay. But then I also have a part of myself that is very fierce, is very assertive, is very, what I'm saying, protective of my own heart. And so this is the balance, you have to, because if you don't, if you're too soft, this world is going to chew you up and spit you out. Okay. And if you're too hard, then you're just a narc and you're off-putting and nobody's going to like you. You have to find balance, okay, between those things. And again, the person who has found this balance within themselves, men and women, are magnetized and attracted to you. Okay. And so you choose. Okay. You choose. Um, so the law of gender, again, we both carry these things, and they both are necessary for creation. So even if a person tries to say, I'm gay or I'm whatever, in order for two people to build, to come together and be successfully create something, even if it's something like a business or something together, there has to be, one that is carrying that masculine energy, and one that is carrying the feminine energy. Even if you are both the same sexes, you will find that even in these sorts of relationships where there are same sex relationships, that the law of gender is still in effect. Okay. One is carrying the masculine energy and one is carrying the feminine. Both of these energies are necessary. One is not better than the other, which is, what some people would have you think. They are both necessary for balance and for creation. Okay. And so the yin yang is not two separate things that are in opposition to one another. They are two aspects of one thing. Okay. And so our challenge, as spiritual beings having a human experience, is to find this balance between these two, the law of gender, this masculine and feminine energy within the self. When we have failed to find that balance within the self, then we find ourselves being codependent, looking for that other half, that other person to fulfill that other, I'm not as assertive, but they are. They missing what I got and I'm missing what they got. When the name of the game, that was old. That's the old, that's the old paradigm. Okay. In the old paradigm, people would come together and be codependent upon one another, that, this is my backbone and this is my strength and this and that. No, in this new paradigm, you are going to balance both energies within yourself, and then you are going to find another who has balanced those within themselves, okay, and have a higher level of love, a higher experience of love, a love that does not contain any fear, any insecurities, any doubt, because both people are whole and complete within themselves, and they are not looking for or needing that other person's validation, or for them to, give you all this extra attention, because, you are whole and complete within yourself. And so what you are doing in this divine love is simply basking in the wholeness of one another, because what you have found is God in one another. Okay. And it is okay to worship that other aspect of you when you find what we would call that infinite flame. This is that other person who carries your identical energetic signature, and you have both healed, you're whole. They have their masculine and feminine in balance, and you have yours. Then what you are doing is just basking in the love of God. Okay, this is the true gathering of two people in the name of God, because God is the whole. And so these two people have to be whole for this love relationship to actually be divine, meaning that you both have had to go through the healing process of balancing these energies within yourself first, and then not looking for that other person to complete you, but sharing your wholeness with another person who is whole. Okay, this is what love looks like in the new earth, my people. I think that I've said enough. I hope that I have made sense to you guys. I hope that it will be truly helpful, and we will be going deeper into some of these other laws. Okay. I am on both platforms right now. So if you did not catch this on Bigo, um, it will be on House of Healing LLC, Midnight Mindfulness, the beginning of wisdom. Okay. So before I go, I'm going to look through look at the comments and see if I missed anything. And once again, I'm sending you all peace, love, life, healing, and infinite abundance. And all you have to do is open your hearts to receive that. Okay. So if you are open to receive that wherever you are, if you are listening, give the universe an audible yes, and just prepare to receive. Okay. And again, I appreciate you all for joining me. I appreciate the energy. I will be back tomorrow. Okay, my little sister joined me in the room tonight. Okay, I feel you, baby. I see you. Appreciate you being here, Eliana. It's always a pleasure to have you here as well. I love your energy, binge thinker. You already know what it is. Okay, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, and I hope you guys sleep well, and I hope that what you took from this will help you in your path. I hope that it has been truly helpful, and it is pure love, and I don't require anything in return. You guys have a good evening.